Georgia is bracing itself for what could be one of the most disruptive winter storms in recent memory. Across the state, from the bustling streets of Atlanta to the quiet towns of North Georgia, a sense of urgency fills the air as residents and officials prepare for a weather event that could bring daily life to a standstill. Unlike typical winter storms that blanket the region in snow, this system threatens to coat everything in a dangerous layer of ice. The forecast calls for freezing rain, not snow. And that distinction has everyone on edge, especially in Atlanta and the higher elevations to the north. The seriousness of the situation is underscored by Governor Brian Kemp's decision to declare a state of emergency for all 159 counties. This sweeping action unlocks vital resources, mobilizes emergency crews, and sends a clear message. Georgia is taking no chances with this storm. The critical window is this weekend, January 24th and 25th. When meteorologists warn that freezing rain could persist for hours, creating treacherous conditions across a wide area. Weather experts are urging everyone to pay close attention to updates as the situation evolves. The primary concern is the accumulation of ice on trees, which can quickly become heavy and brittle under the weight, causing branches to snap and fall. Power lines are also at risk, as even a thin layer of ice can cause them to sag or break, while roads may become slick and nearly impossible to navigate. These hazards raise the specter of widespread power outages, leaving neighborhoods in the dark and cold, and making travel not just difficult, but dangerous. Emergency crews are on standby, but they warn that response times could be delayed if conditions worsen. For many Atlantans, the memories of the 2014 snowpocalypse are still fresh. That storm brought the city to a halt, stranding thousands of drivers on highways and forcing people to abandon their cars and walk for miles in freezing conditions. The fear is that history could repeat itself if precautions aren't taken. Determined to avoid a repeat of that chaos, state and local agencies are working around the clock. Crews are already treating roads with salt and sand, emergency vehicles are being prepped, and digital signs across the region are warning drivers to stay off the roads. The message from officials is clear. Prepare now, stay informed, and avoid unnecessary travel. Residents are urged to stock up on essentials, check weather alerts frequently, and make sure their homes are ready for possible power outages. This is not a storm to underestimate. The combination of freezing rain, gusty winds, and plummeting temperatures could create a perfect storm of hazards. For millions of Georgians, weekend plans have shifted dramatically. Instead of outings and gatherings, people are focused on gathering supplies, checking on neighbors, and preparing to hunker down until the danger passes. The next several hours are crucial. As the first bands of precipitation move in, all eyes are on the radar, and everyone is hoping the worst can be avoided. With emergency services on high alert and the National Guard standing by, Georgia is as ready as it can be. The state stands united, prepared to face the icy challenge ahead, and determined to weather the storm together. In the heart of the Weather Center, meteorologists are locked in a high-stakes battle of computer models, each vying to predict the fate of Atlanta as a powerful winter storm approaches. The tension is palpable as experts pore over data, knowing that the accuracy of their forecasts could mean the difference between routine winter weather and a city brought to its knees by ice. Each model paints a dramatically different picture for Atlanta, leaving forecasters and residents alike on edge. The city's fate hangs in the balance as these digital forecasts clash, each offering its own version of what the next 48 hours could bring. The European model, known as the ECMWF, predicts lighter ice for the city itself, but devastating amounts just north. Nearly an inch of accumulation. That's enough to snap tree limbs, bring down power lines, and leave entire communities in the dark for days. For those living north of Atlanta, this scenario is a chilling prospect. Meanwhile, the American GFS model is even more dire, putting Atlanta directly in the bullseye for up to an inch of ice. If this forecast comes true, the city could face catastrophic impacts, paralyzed roads, widespread power outages, and dangerous conditions for anyone venturing outside. The margin between these outcomes is razor thin. A single degree of temperature could mean the difference between a cold, soaking rain and a crippling ice storm that grinds daily life to a halt. The city's fate may hinge on the smallest atmospheric detail. With so much uncertainty, forecasters must communicate both possibilities to the public, urging everyone to prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. Emergency officials are briefing communities, and stores are seeing a rush for supplies as residents brace for whatever may come. The models do agree on one thing: a major winter storm is on the way, but the exact impact zone, and just how severe the storm will be, remains a mystery. Meteorologists continue to track the storm's every move, searching for clues that might tip the scales. Across Georgia, emergency crews are preparing for the GFS's worst-case scenario, loading salt trucks and readying resources. At the same time, everyone is quietly hoping that the European model's milder outcome will win out, sparing Atlanta from the worst of the storm. For those living north of I-20, the risk of a damaging ice storm is very real. Rural communities are especially vulnerable, with fewer resources and longer recovery times if the power goes out or roads become impassable. Over the next 24 hours, all eyes will be on the skies and the latest model runs. The outcome of this battle between weather models will determine not just which forecast was right, but how severe the impact will be for millions across Georgia. A state of emergency isn't just a headline, it mobilizes Georgia's full emergency response. The declaration activates the State Operations Center, bringing together agencies for rapid coordinated action. It allows the governor to call up the National Guard and cut red tape, speeding aid and resources to where they're needed most. Businesses are urged to close, schools to cancel classes, and everyone to stay off the roads before conditions deteriorate. For the public, this means faster response to outages and emergencies. The message: finalize your preparations, check on loved ones, and plan to stay home. The government is acting decisively. Now it's your turn to prepare. The systems are in place, resources are being staged, and Georgia is bracing for impact. Take the warning seriously. Your safety depends on it. 500 Georgia National Guard soldiers are being deployed ahead of the storm, a clear sign of the state's proactive approach. Their mission: clear routes, assist with debris, and help set up warming shelters for those who lose power. In rural areas, they'll conduct wellness checks on vulnerable residents. By pre-positioning teams in high-risk zones, the Guard can respond instantly, saving precious time and lives. Their presence is both practical and reassuring, underscoring the seriousness of the threat. When you see military vehicles in your community, it's a reminder: stay off the roads and let them do their work. Georgia's forward-leaning response is built on hard lessons from past storms. Freezing rain is often underestimated, but it can be far more destructive than snow, especially in the South where communities are less prepared for icy conditions. Unlike snow, which can be shoveled or plowed away, freezing rain creates a solid, invisible layer of ice that clings to everything it touches, making it particularly hazardous. This dangerous phenomenon occurs when rain falls through a warm layer of air, then passes into a colder layer just above the ground. The rain doesn't freeze until it hits a surface, instantly forming a heavy, clear glaze of ice. This coating can be deceptively beautiful, but it's also incredibly dangerous, weighing down everything from tree branches to power lines and vehicles. Just half an inch of ice is enough to add hundreds of pounds of extra weight to trees and power lines. The strain can cause branches to snap and power lines to collapse, leading to widespread outages and dangerous debris on the ground. Pine trees, which are common in many southern neighborhoods, are especially vulnerable because their long, flexible branches can't support the extra weight. When these branches break, they can crush cars, damage roofs, and even block roads, making it difficult for emergency crews to respond. Roads become extremely hazardous during and after freezing rain. The ice creates a nearly frictionless surface, and black ice, so named because it's nearly invisible, can catch even the most cautious drivers off guard, causing vehicles to slide uncontrollably. Bridges and overpasses are particularly dangerous because they freeze before other surfaces. Cold air circulates above and below, allowing ice to form quickly and unexpectedly, often before drivers realize the danger. Even after the rain stops, the threat doesn't disappear. If temperatures remain below freezing, the ice lingers on roads, sidewalks, trees, and power lines, prolonging the risk of accidents and making it difficult for utility crews to begin repairs. Utility crews must wait until conditions are safe before they can start restoring power. This means that outages can last for days, leaving families without heat, light, or the ability to cook food, especially dangerous during cold snaps. Understanding the dangers of freezing rain is essential for making safe decisions. Stay informed by monitoring weather alerts, and avoid travel if possible when ice is in the forecast. Prepare your home and car for winter emergencies, and check on neighbors who may need help. Always heed official warnings, and take ice storms seriously. The risks are real, and a little caution can go a long way in keeping you and your loved ones safe during these dangerous winter events. The National Weather Service has issued a winter storm watch for much of North Georgia, warning of crippling ice, prolonged outages, and impossible travel. Their language is direct areas north of Atlanta could see over 3/4 of an inch of ice. The forecast remains fluid. A small shift could bring the worst ice into the city itself. Residents south of the current watch area are urged to prepare, not hope for the best. After the storm, Arctic air will lock in the ice, keeping roads hazardous for days. The NWS message: prepare for the worst-case scenario, not just the most likely one. The danger won't end with the last drop of freezing rain. The aftermath could be just as perilous. Stay alert for updates as the situation evolves. The NWS is making it clear this is a high-impact event. Monday morning, January 26th, dawns cold and bright, but the storm's icy grip remains. Trees and power lines sag under the weight of ice, and the landscape, though beautiful, is dangerous. The main challenge now: roads remain slick and hazardous, especially on untreated surfaces. Frigid temperatures mean little melting. Any thaw refreezes overnight, creating new black ice. Power outages are widespread, with utility crews struggling to access and repair downed lines. For many, restoration could take days, and the cold intensifies the risk of hypothermia and frozen pipes. Clearing ice is slow, and the cold solidifies the danger. The storm's second act is this relentless cold, extending the emergency. Stay home, stay warm, and avoid unnecessary risks. The aftermath is as challenging as the storm itself. Preparation is your best defense. Act before the storm hits. Build an emergency kit: flashlights, batteries, weather radio, power banks, non-perishable food, and water. Ensure your fireplace or generator is ready, but never use generators or grills indoors. Carbon monoxide kills. Gather blankets and warm clothes. Close off unused rooms to conserve heat. Let faucets drip to prevent frozen pipes. Stay informed with reliable weather alerts. No AA radios and emergency notifications are essential. Most importantly, stay off the roads to avoid accidents and keep routes clear for emergency crews. Check on neighbors, especially the vulnerable. By preparing and staying put, you help keep everyone safe. As the ice slowly recedes, recovery begins, and community matters most. Check on neighbors, especially the elderly, and those with medical needs. Dangers persist. Melting and refreezing keep roads and sidewalks hazardous, and falling branches remain a threat. Heed official advice and travel only when necessary. Every storm teaches new lessons. Review your preparedness and improve for next time. Atlanta's icy weekend is a story of resilience, proactive action, and neighbors helping neighbors. First responders, utility crews, and the National Guard work tirelessly, but community support is vital. By staying informed and connected, we emerge stronger and better prepared. Together, we weather the storm and its aftermath.